All right, so today's message is, I pray, will be really edifying. Um, it's called "Cut Them Off." Cut them off, and this is not. Trust me when I tell you that this is not what y'all think this may be, right? So I'm gonna explain it, but I really do believe this is gonna be a good one. I pray that it does edify you all. But here's kind of like a quick overview, right? Have you ever found yourself in a situation that seems utterly hopeless? It seems like the world around you is closing in, and the friends you once had in your corner seem to not understand you in this season of your life. The goal of today's message is to help you understand the season that you may be in. Y'all willing, it will provide the clarity to why you may be feeling this way and how cutting some people off is designed purposefully to work for your good. But first, we must work on our outlook and mindset. So, the disclaimer, all right, this is not no Jesus came to bring a sword, divide father and the son, mother and the daughter. Nah, this is not that. This is not this. You gotta reject all your family and friends and exclusivism. This is not that. All right. This is so I know how the mind works when you hear certain things, and especially all of us coming from a particular place, it could jump to. You get what I'm saying? A group of people. This is not that. This is past that, beyond that. This is for certain seasons in your life where we're gonna analyze what it means to actually cut people off. And I didn't plan it that way, but the spirit actually hit me to play that song. You were talking about like another place, right? And you're gonna really realize like, wow, in this message, what that actually entails. Okay, so that's just a disclaimer. So the mindset that I would like us to adopt in order for before we dive into what it means to cut people off, right? Isaiah 55 verse 8 and 9. It says, "For my thoughts, okay, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." All right. We're gonna couple that with 2 Kings 6, verse 15 to 17. And it says, "And when the servant of the man of Yah was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?" Before I go any further, you gotta understand, like, King James tend to gloss things because of the poetic nature. But if it was like, if we were there and they were speaking kind of like, it's like, what the hell we do? How we gonna get out of this one? Right? Because he's seeing all the chariots around, and he just like, how the hell we gonna get out of this? You get what I'm saying? And then he answered, verse 16, "Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them." And Elisha prayed and said, "Master, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see." And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountains were full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. You see, and that's the thing that I really want for us today, right? Because I started off by saying, have you ever been in a situation in your life where everything seems like the hope is lost, right? If we have that mindset like that servant, all we see is the natural that's before us. We're going to see the chariots come past us, right? And we're going to talk just like this. How shall we do? You might, ever making sense? Yeah. The bills are probably rising up. How shall we do? You lost your job. How shall we do? Right? So the problem is that we're looking at it from a carnal mindset. And that's why I said, if only, if open up his eyes, right? If we could, so we find ourselves in situations that seem dire, that seem difficult and perilous. The goal is not to see things from a carnal standpoint, but to see things with our spiritual eyes, to adopt the mind of Yah, Christ. Right?
That's good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna really go into it. All right. So, show of hands, who here is an Israelite? We all are, right? So we need to understand that, when we say we're an Israelite, what does that really mean? There's definitions, right? So we know Israel, Jacob's name was changed to Israel, right? And the father of Israel was Isaac. The father of Isaac was Abraham, right? And Abraham was a Hebrew. That's key. He was a Hebrew. So we're going to go into certain words. So everybody can see this clear? We have Eber, which was the progenitor of the Hebrews. And this is coming by Hebrew number 5677. You can see right here, Eber, the name of 2 patriarchs and 4 Israelites. Notice what you see here. Eber or Heber, the region beyond. Do you guys see that? Mm-hmm. The region beyond. Now, by the time you get to Hebrew, right, which is Hebrew number 5680, you can say an Eberite, right? Therefore, a Hebrew, which we Israelites, right? That means you come from Eber, according to Genesis 10, when you read the Table of Nations, right? And notice the descendant of Eber, that's what a Hebrew is. Look at what it says, one from beyond. Do you see that correlation? A region beyond, one from beyond. So we here listening to this song, Another Place. Yeah. Right? You got to understand what that means. Because if you're from a region beyond, that means you're going to enter new territory, uncharted waters, right? That's right. So the word for crossing over in Hebrew is avar, the root word meaning to pass over, pass through, or pass by. The term Ivri or Ibri, Hebrew itself comes from this root, referring to those who have crossed over. This concept relates to movements like crossing a river, a journey into a new land, or a transition into new spiritual identity. Right? Avar, this is the verb to pass over, pass through, or go beyond. Ibri, right? I know you see the V, but Ibri. Hebrew referring to those who have crossed over. All right, so abar as the root, as a root. The root of the word avar connects to related concepts of beyond, Eber, highlighting the idea of crossing a border or a boundary. All right, so is everybody with me so far? All right, so cut them off. We're gonna really get into it and why I mentioned certain things. I'm gonna really get into like why, I started off with this idea, this concept that we are Hebrews, right? So when you cut people off, it is not cruelty, it is clarity. I want you guys to understand that. I want you to understand that. Cutting people off is not cruelty, it is clarity. The people that you have to cut off, these may not even be bad people. I want you to understand that. Again, this is not, they're not Israelites, they don't see things my way, so therefore I can't rock with. This is not that. There are certain seasons in your life where you have to actually distance yourself or separate yourself. Not because you're trying to be cruel, but because you actually need that space to be mentally clear as to where you're going. Right? It's not isolation, it's elevation. Am I making sense? You see, isolation is the sacred place where Yah does his work without titles, affirmation, or validation. You see, when you're in a crowd, right? When you're with your boys, or for the sisters, you with your girls, right? They probably they probably have certain accolades for you, right? oh yeah, you the brother that played the saxophone. Oh, you elder this, right? You the brother that played the drum. You know what I'm saying? They have all these accolades for you, right? And that could actually cause your judgment to be blurry, because all the accolades, it clouds judgment. Sometimes the Most High is gonna have to separate you from all that noise so that you could be clear. Like, yeah, I hear what people are calling me, but what am I in the eyes of the Most High? Because it's the purpose for Mike only to be a drummer. What if the circle you in is that's all they see you as? They don't see nothing else. They don't, because why? They're looking at it from a carnal standpoint. They don't even see what Yah purpose for you to do. Yah probably has something far greater than this drumming, but because the circle you in, Galana, you're just a teacher. Right? That you see how they could cap you off? True. You just a cook. You see, like, even the terminology just. As if you're not multifaceted as individuals. There's many things that the Most High has in store for us. But that's why sometimes you need to separate yourselves from these people that you were born into. Isolation is the place where you are being refined before you can be revealed. All right, let's get into it, right? Can you guys see this on the screen? It says in 1 Peter 1 verse 7, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perisheth, though it be tested with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Messiah Jesus, right? So notice your faith is being associated with what? According to this verse. Gold, right? Now, gold is extremely precious, but the gold must first go through what? The fire. And I started off by talking about, you find yourself in seasons where things may seem perilous, right? That is the trial of your faith. Now, this is the question that we must ask ourselves, right? I don't know if you've asked this question, but I typed in, must gold be refined?
It has to be.
Must it? So again, if gold is being equated to the faith, our faith, if you're saying that gold must be refined, that means you're saying that your faith must be tested. Uh-oh. Now we have a dilemma here, right? Because now these seasons that we find ourselves in, that means it's a necessary thing for you to go through certain sorrow, through certain hardship, right? Because you just said it must. I typed it in, must gold be refined? It said yes. Gold extracted from the earth almost always needs to be refined to remove impurities like copper, silver, and other metals. So guess what? You know what that impurity look like? Fear, doubts, right? Codependency on your friends rather than dependency on Yah. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That flesh. Carnal desires. That's all these impurities that the Most High is purging out of us, right? So you're looking at it like, damn, do I really got to lose these friends? Yes.
That's right.
Yes, you got to lose a friend. And again, it has nothing to do with because they were good or bad. It's just that in this season of your life, you can't bring them with you. You get what I'm saying? Jesus was led into the wilderness not by the enemy, but by Yah. Right? Matthew 4, verse 1. It says, then Jesus was led up by what? By the Spirit. We always love to accuse Satan. Saying that he's causing all this hardship. No. It said he was led into the wilderness by who? The Spirit. Into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. The wilderness is not punishment. It is preparation. A place to fast and pray and come out with authority and clarity. When he was in the wilderness, what was Christ doing? And when he had what? Fasted 40 days and 40 nights. He afterward a hunger. You see, the wilderness is a place where you're supposed to be afflicting your flesh. Sometimes, like I said, when you with these people, right, your friends, family members, so you get too comfortable.
Yeah.
They hear patting you on the back all the time, giving you all these accolades. Your flesh loves that. Sometimes you need to be isolated so that you could go through a moment of, affliction.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You see, isolation comes before influence. What do I mean? So after Christ is tempted and he overcomes, as we know, what does he do? He begins his ministry, right? So he is isolated in the wilderness for these 40 days, 40 nights, and then he begins his ministry upon the earth. And in that process of time, what is he doing? Leave everything you have and come follow me. That's influence. In order for you to get a bunch of disciples to come follow you, that's influence.
Absolutely.
And who's gonna follow you unless you have something to show for it?
That's right. That's right.
If Christ was void of power, you think people are gonna follow him? No. You gotta show me something. You want me to leave my family, my wife, all these people just to follow you? Who are you?
Right. 100%.
Am I making sense? Isolation is a divine appointment. You see, it's a place where you're not forgotten, but you're being forged. You see, do you see the heat once again? Right? Like you're likened unto a piece of metal, and we read that already, the gold. And notice what this blacksmith has to do. He has to hit that piece of metal so hard, and that's the trying of your faith. And let me go even further, right? Because we see the image here. What is the purpose? Does anybody know why they hit that piece of metal? To shape it, mold it. And then what takes place afterwards? Can you easily bend that piece of metal afterwards? Once it becomes right? The heat actually is designed so that it could bend just a tad bit, but once it cools off, what happens? That thing is set. Right? So yeah, you're gonna feel some pain here and there. But guess what? Once that heat gets off of you and you cool down, right? That's like the angels coming and attending to Christ. Right? You passed the test. Now let's nourish this guy. Right? And then guess what? You think you won't be easily bent? What happens now if somebody comes your way? I mean, if he overcame Satan, who's gonna come and defeat Christ after that? Who's gonna come after that? He already passed the greatest of them all. You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Some trials you go through, it's a necessary thing. Yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying you're not gonna get some dents along the way. But once it cools off, you're gonna look at it like, damn, man, I could overcome anything now. Has anybody ever lost a job and you have bills to pay? That feels, especially if you have children, that feels like the end of the world. Like, how the hell I'm going to get out of this? How shall we do? Just like that servant, right? How are we going to do? Especially if you got a landlord. Man, those bills are due. You have a lot of pressure on you. But if you overcome a situation like that, now you feel like you're on top of the world. Like, man, yeah, you brought me through this.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. You see, when you are in isolation being forged, wings are being created. People will not even recognize who you are once you come out compared to who you were when you went in. I don't know if you see the wings is how it's bolted. We're going to get back to that. I promise you. But just remember, when you're in isolation, those wings, they're being created. All right? Well, you must carry the man's weight. What do I mean? So naturally, weight symbolizes resistance. And the only way for you to lift that weight, carry that weight, you need to first develop the strength necessary to overcome the resistance. right?
Right.
But what do you think you're carrying in the spirit? Your divine assignment, your purpose. Everybody here has an assignment on this earth. But that assignment demands weight. And how in the world are you going to carry that assignment? How are you going to walk out into this assignment if you don't first obtain the necessary strength? Open up. Open the phone. How are you going to carry that assignment if you don't first obtain the strength necessary, right, to overcome the obstacles that that assignment will bring? I'll give you a perfect example, right? This naturally, right? Who's a teacher here? Or they teach children? Anybody, right? Okay. Let's suppose, for the sake of conversation, that's your divine assignment. Does anybody remember the years of schooling that you had to go through? Raise your hand. The years of schooling you probably had to go through, the tests you had to take before they will even dare bring you into the classroom to teach these children, or the daycare, wherever, right? Do you guys remember the countless years of study? And who was there with you? Brother Nick, right? Brother Nick was there with you. I was opening those books with you studying, correct? Your husband was there. Come on, y'all gotta speak to me. Who was with you, cracking open those books, studying, helping you overcome the obstacles of the assignment? Wasn't that a solo journey? Before we ever knew Mike as the drummer, who was there in the woodshed, bro? I was there picking up those sticks with you. Right? You were doing that behind the scenes. We don't even know your story. If our stories are similar, you probably performed and people say you were trash. I remember playing the piano in church. Man, get this boy off the piano. Before you saw Nick that plays the saxophone and be like, oh man, you play. A lot of mistakes. Get this boy out of here. Having to endure people replace me. And now you have to go in the woodshed in isolation, humble yourself and be like, let me really study this thing out. Before I could be revealed, and therefore people are like, yo, man, when you learn how to play this? Isn't that always the question? When you learn how to do all of this? Yeah, when you wasn't there.
That's right.
that's the answer. When you wasn't there. And now you don't gotta say that, but that's the reality. You wasn't there with me. That's why now I'm receiving this level of accolade, because I had to be isolated first. You see, divine isolation is not Yah turning away from you. It's Yah turning you towards him. Where you are going requires more than charisma. It requires character, depth, conviction. That's not built in crowds. Those are not built. That's built in the secret place. So I'm going to give you examples of cutting them off, right? We know this. I started off with the father of the faith, right? Remember I was giving you definitions of Eber, right? Now look at the father of the faith, Abraham. Now Yahweh had said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. Did he know this land? This is what I'm talking about. Another place. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Now, I'll pause real quick. Have anybody ever looked up the name Abraham? Nobody? You forgot?
I did look it up before.
Does anything ring a bell? Anything whatsoever?
I know I probably did, but I don't remember either.
His name means exalted father. I want you to understand something though. Could you imagine? Because again, names have meaning. I'm calling you Ezekiel, you etc. Right? But your name itself has a meaning. Could you imagine if it was not Hebrew and I was calling you exalted father? Guess what though? In Genesis 12, Abraham had no children. Abraham had no children. Do you understand how much pain he probably was dealing every time somebody was calling his name? It's a constant reminder that he's not fulfilling his assignment. He's not even living up to the name. Exalted father, yeah, exalted father. You don't got no children. And Yah is saying what? Get thee out of that country. Because you see over there where you are, they know you as just Abraham without no children. Right? The father of terror. When you read the Joshua account, right, you actually understand that Terah was someone who was immersed in idol worship. How you gonna grow into the assignment, Abraham, if you living in those conditions? So Abraham had to leave. It had nothing to do with because I don't like mommy and daddy. No, that's not what we're talking about here. We're just talking about an environment that's not conducive to you even becoming the person that Yah needs you to be. You see, because here's the thing. We know the account. Abraham ends up leaving, and Yah does end up blessing him, right? Now he has Isaac, Jacob, the 12 tribes, and doesn't the revelation come to pass? Look into the heavens, and your seed will be like the stars of heaven. Now, let me ask you that. Does he live up to the name now? There you go. That could not happen if he had stayed. You see, he had to pass over. He had to cross over. Because he's a Hebrew. We're going to look at other examples of cutting them off from the scriptures, right? We have Lot's wife. This is a prime example of someone who did not cut them off. She was told to leave Sodom and Gomorrah, and she was asked to cut them off. Hey, leave everybody behind. And what happened? She could not cut them off. She could not cut them off. And when she's leaving, what did she do? She looked back. Damn, my daughters are still in it. Right? So now, because she could not cut them off, you see how she turns into a pillar of salt? I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, please, when the time is presented to you to cut them off, mind you, who told them to leave that place? Do y'all remember? The Most High, the angels, right? Again, it's not Satan telling you to cut these people off. The Most High is telling you to cut them off. He's the one that's telling you to leave. If you don't listen, I pray that you don't turn to a pillar of salt, that your assignment is not just cut off right there and then. Do you think it had anything to do with her not loving her daughters? No, it's because she loved them too much. It had nothing to do with whether they're good or bad. It had nothing to do with that. It's about walking out in your assignment. Joseph and his brothers. We know the account. He has a dream that this man is going to be so great. He saw the sun and the moon and the 11 stars bowing down to him, right? And do you guys remember his brothers and how they reacted? Hey, this guy's a dreamer. Right? This guy's always dreaming. Sometimes you're in an environment, and when you tell people your dreams, they're going to shoot it down. It's like a crab in a barrel mentality. Nah. You don't think you're going to be better than us? Again, because we read the Bible, his brothers, are they not the progenitor of all the 12 tribes of Israel? So Yah has high regard for his brothers, even though they were talking trash. It had nothing to do with whether or not they were evil or no. But Joseph, in order to accomplish his mission, he had to be separated from them, be put in prison, the trying of his faith. And I want you to pay attention. When this man comes out second in command in all of Egypt. His assignment is so great that this man was able to not only be a blessing to his family, but to the entire world during the famine.
That's exactly right.
Ah, man. If could you imagine if Joseph said to himself, man, I love my family too much. I'm not gonna voice my vision. Let me just stay home. So here you are. You're sacrificing your purpose for people because you want to continue to sing kumbaya and not understanding that, look, your purpose in this life extends far beyond just your immediate family. When the Most High uses you, trust me, it's going to go way beyond just mommy and daddy. You get what I'm saying? You see, Moses leaving Egypt. This is good. Remember, we know Moses grows up in Egypt, and then he finally comes to the realization that he's an Israelite. So now he, starts working along with them. And then one day he sees an Egyptian attacking an Israelite, one of his brothers. He kills the Egyptian. Following day, he sees two of his brothers fighting, and he tries to break it up. Do you remember what they said? Who make you a judge and a prince over us? What does Moses do? For fear, he leaves. That's the cutting off right there. You know what's the irony behind it all? They said, who makes you a judge and a prince over us? The question is, was he a judge and prince over them? He absolutely was. That's the irony. When you are around these people that you're close to, they can't see that though. Right. So he has to go into the secret place where now he's here talking to the Most High, and the Most High gives him the instructions. I need you to go back. You see, that's another thing too. Cutting off, sometimes you may be reunited with those you left. But when you do, you're going to come back with a greater level of authority and power. You see, Moses, if he had stayed there, he would have never been the Moses we understand with the staff and commanding things. You get what I'm saying? No. Moses had to leave first. Gideon and the 32,000. We know the account. They're here. They're about to go to war. Yah said, man, you have too many. He said, and you need to cut some of these people off, lest Israel vaunt themselves, boast. They're going to boast themselves against me and said that it was by our might we were able to be delivered. So therefore, in this situation, we see that sometimes the cutting off is designed because why? Yah wants the glory. If you bring your whole crew, the posse with you, yeah, we did that. No. Sometimes the Most High needs you to understand, man. It's not, I'm the one that's doing this stuff. I need the glory in it. So I'm gonna need to separate you and help you understand that it's not because of the numbers. It's not because of the people that you kept around you. You see, it wouldn't be a miracle if 32,000 went to war against thousands of people, right? Nah. But when you do 300 people, right? 300 people, nah, it's like, oh, shoot. That's Yah. That's truly Yah at that point, right? You see, increase requires space. You cannot grow if you're too cluttered. That's why sometimes you need to divorce yourself from some of the people that's around you because you need to expand. I can't do that if you're all around me. You get what I'm saying? When Yah removes things, it's not always because you did something wrong. Sometimes you outgrew the place you were in. Some people are slowing you down. Don't sacrifice purpose for people. If Satan, we have the account of Jonas, right? We know the account of Jonas. Jonas was told to, does anybody remember? Jonas was told to go where? Nineveh. And Jonas, being stubborn, where he chooses to go? Tarshish. I hear y'all, but nah. I know this. Can you imagine? I know the assignment, but nah. I'm gonna do my thing. Well, Jesus, indeed, right?
Yes.
And guess what? You see, if Satan can't get you to disobey, he will get you to detour. If he can't get you to fall, he will get you to wander. A distracted heart loses clarity. A distracted mind loses momentum. A distracted soul eventually forgets the urgency of its assignment. Do you guys see the... Let me see if I can play it again. Do you guys see the rocket ship? What do you notice about this rocket ship as it keeps going higher and higher? Did you notice something?
Yeah,
Things start falling off, right? That's the cutting off. You see, sometimes the momentum you need in order to break that atmosphere, you're going so fast. If you carry all that extra weight on you, you're not going to pierce through. You're going to hit that atmosphere and you're going to just explode. So sometimes you got to shed all that extra weight so you can to soar. Sometimes you're going at such a fast neck break speed, and the people around you, they're not keeping up. And why? It's not for them to keep up. It's not their assignment. It's not because they're bad. I'm not a cook. What I look like being in the kitchen with Mario? I'm only going to slow Mario down. You get what I'm saying? Sampling. Exactly. Sampling. I'm not, you guys gotta understand, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm gonna slow you down, brother. You here making shirts, these designs, and I'm like, hey man, can I tag along? It sounds cute, but Nick, man, you not him in that department. So respectfully, you gotta stay back. And who am I to say, man, okay, why you don't want to bring me along? Why he acting this way? At that point in time, don't worry about my feelings. Right. Nah, don't worry about. Trust me, that's how they guilt trip you. Absolutely. Ah, man, he's my boy. She's my girl. Let me tag along. Nah, no, don't do it. Don't fall for it. Let them be in their feelings. It's not personal. They just can't go along with you. That's it. Young daughters here. One day y'all desire to be married, right? Even from that standpoint, what they say? One day you're gonna have to leave father and mother, and you're gonna have to go cleave onto your husband. You can't be a wife. You can't be a wife if you're going to continue living with daddy and mommy. You can't. It hurt though, right? I remember the waterworks. I had to call the father. This is my wife now. I had to call the father. Hey, hey, love you, but your daughter's gonna be moving to Tennessee. Man, hearing a grown man cry on the phone, not no disrespect, but that's how much he loved his daughter. He cried. I'd never seen nothing like that in my life. But who am I? I'm gonna say, man, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, bro, maybe I should keep your daughter in New York because you love her that much. Oh man. What I sound like? How's she gonna ever grow into the woman she needed to become if she don't ever leave her father and mother's house? Do you hate your father? You hate your mom? But it's a necessary thing. Sometimes you gotta let people go. Because if you don't, this is what's gonna happen, y'all. You're gonna be wandering. Yeah. You lost. And this is what I'm praying does not take place. You see, Jonas ends up being saved, correct? Mm-hmm. And I want you to understand something. You see, Yah is gracious, but time is still precious. The earth is groaning for the manifestation of Yah's children. Your purpose is too sacred to be shared with distraction. Clarity requires space to hear from Yah without the noise. You guys, time is one of those things that you cannot get back. It's the one commodity you can never, like if you lose that thing, it's gone for the rest of your life. It's not like money. I can make more money. If you lose friends, I can make more friends. But you lose time, it's a wrap. You all of us, let's say for the sake of conversation, I'm looking at the group here. Everybody is past 2. That's safe to say. No, that's not true. Everybody's past 1 year old. We never gonna get a chance to be 1 year old again, y'all. Never. There's no such thing as I made a mistake. I'm gonna revisit my teenage years and start it. No. Unless if you want to look real goofy. Right. Back in high school, look at all these children gonna look at you like, oh, you a super senior. You here? What are you doing in here? Right? You can't come back. You can't go back in time, y'all. Yes, y'all could help you. He took Jonah. You going the wrong way, homie. So I'm gonna have to send a storm. Right? He had to send a storm, and he had to send a fish. What does that look like in your life? What if you in the wrong field? So now you're dealing with bad coworkers. You're dealing with a bunch of gossip. Why? Because he's gonna have to make you uncomfortable to help redirect you. You wasn't supposed to be there. You wasn't supposed to be there. So you're looking at the discomfort as if, why this is happening to me? Yes, it's happening to you because I want you to become the best version of yourself. Even in the best scenario, if you became, let's say, for the sake of conversation, right? The world loves praising lawyers and doctors. Let's suppose if you became a lawyer and doctor. Okay, yeah, you made a lot of money, but even at its best, that's all you do. But if you're walking out in your purpose, you could far exceed the lawyer and the doctor if you're actually in your lane. You get what I'm saying? Right. Don't find yourself in an arena just because you're trying to show off to your friends and be like, this is what I became. No. You don't care about people. Care about what y'all want you to do. That's the only thing that matters. You see, separation hurts. It's not only about letting go of people, but letting go of identity attachments, emotional ties, and even unspoken expectations that was built in past seasons. That one is, let me unpack that. You see, it goes right back to what I was saying before, right? Sometimes you had certain expectations in a particular season of your life. I'll speak from, can anybody resonate with this? You went to school and you thought you were going to become this particular thing and find out that years later, you not that at all. Can you live with that though? You see, that's a cutting off. Yes, you had that expectation, but sometimes you got to let that expectation go because again, if you keep holding on to it, you won't see the true arena that y'all want you to operate in. That's right. I'll throw myself. I graduated, valedictorian in high school. Everybody thought, oh, bro, niggas gonna be bong, bong, bong. And I'm here listening to the noise. I remember going to college and trying to become a doctor. And I was passing, but I was dreading it. And I'm like, I don't want to spend this much years. Let me try to reduce it and try to become a nurse. Passing it, but still not enjoying it. At that point in time, what are you doing? Wasting time. You're wasting time. You see, rather than knowing what I needed to do and being on the fast track, I could have graduated within the 4 years like they said, right? Now I'm here. I went in there 18. I graduated, when I met you, I think I graduated at the age of 25. 7 years. Because I wasted time with things because I was trying to hold on to this identity. Nah, but I graduated like this. My friends think I should become this. And I was looking at it the whole time like, I don't care what the hell your friends think you need to be. I don't see you as a doctor. Can you live with that though? Sometimes you gotta cut those things off. You see, every great calling has a cost. Before you can influence and impact others, y'all must first separate and isolate you. We almost done, y'all. But this one is extremely key. We have the caterpillar versus the butterfly. Do you know the difference? Anybody, please. What's the difference between a caterpillar, even the children? What's the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly?
big and eats a lot, and one flies and is free.
Okay. Anybody else?
One is in a phase of growth, and the other one is complete.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm saying. One morphs, into
Right?
another state. Yeah.
Caterpillars don't pollinate. Butterflies do. I know it sounds simple. You know what I'm saying? I want to show you something, right? And I'm glad you said you brought up one is on the floor crawling and the other one flies. Because a lot of times that's what you jump to because you're looking at it just purely physical. Yeah, one has wings. But let me guess what, y'all? The wings is not the purpose. The wings is the tool that Yah gives the creature to fulfill its purpose. The purpose is the pollination. That's the assignment. You see, caterpillars are actually very selfish in nature. All they do is consume. They crawl on the floor, they eat. That's it. They don't benefit nobody but themselves. Caterpillars.
They actually destroy plants.
That's it. They destroy plants. Butterflies benefit everybody. The primary purpose of pollination is to enable plant reproduction, specifically the production of seeds and fruits by transferring pollen from the male part of a flower to the female part. This process is crucial for survival and propagation of many plant species. So do you see what's taking place?
Yeah.
They both need to eat, by the way, right? But notice one, when it finishes doing what it has to do, it only benefits itself, the caterpillar. The butterfly, on the other hand, it says it's crucial for the survival and propagation of the butterfly
Many
itself.
many plants species.
Many plant species. So because many plants benefit from the assignment of the butterfly, do you understand from an ecological standpoint, from the cycle of life, the circle of life, it's benefiting everybody. Humans benefit, elephants benefit, every animal in the world is going to benefit because of the assignment of just that butterfly. Within the caterpillar is a butterfly. But how can the caterpillar become a butterfly unless it was first isolated in the cocoon? A period of separation and darkness, unseen and forgotten. Yah was refining you so that one day you will be revealed to walk out your divine purpose that can help many others outside of yourself. Let's go back. Joseph. He's not becoming rich for the sake of becoming rich. No, his work helped the entire world be saved from that famine. You get what I'm saying? The work that Abraham did is why we today are even able to say we Israelites. To prevail with Yah. That's what Israel means, right? To prevail with Yah. We would not even be here if it wasn't for the work he was willing to put in. I got to leave my family. I want to play a quick video for you all. I want to see, you're going to learn a powerful life lesson within the butterfly. Remember I was telling you I'm going to go back to the wings, right? Let's look at this real quick.
I came across this powerful story that really highlighted how our struggles form our greatest strengths. When you listen to this story, see if you can apply it, not just to your life, but also to those who you love. Sometimes you have the best intentions to help others through trying to eliminate their struggles, when really all they need is to know that they can handle it on their own. The story goes like this. There once was a man who came across a butterfly cocoon. Curious to see the butterfly emerge, the man sat and watched for many hours as the butterfly struggled to force its body through a small hole. Then, nothing. The butterfly appeared to stop making any progress. It seemed to the man that the butterfly had gone as long and as far as it could and could struggle no more. So, with the best intentions, the man decided he had to help the butterfly. He grabbed a pair of scissors and cut off the remaining bit of the cocoon. With the cocoon cut open, the butterfly no longer had to struggle and emerged easily. However, as it emerged, the man noticed it had a swollen body and small shriveled wings. The man continued to watch, expecting the butterfly to grow its wings and fly away. However, this did not happen. The butterfly spent the rest of its very short life crawling around the ground with a swollen body and small wings, unable to fly. Although the man had the best intentions, what he failed to understand was that the cocoon's job is to provide the struggle and resistance the butterfly needs to grow. The restriction from the tiny opening of the cocoon is exactly what it needed because it forces fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings, which enables the wings to grow and prepare it for freedom once it earns its way out of the cocoon. There's a powerful life lesson here. Our struggles always give us strength. Sometimes the struggles we go through are exactly what we need to grow and develop. Although it is never fun in the moment, we can always look back on difficult moments as crucial times that changed us for the better in some way. We all face struggle, and sometimes we watch those we love struggle as well. And although we don't wish upon anyone hard times, we all need them for growth and for strength. Trying to avoid struggle, taking the easy path, will only lead to a harder life, to greater struggles later on. Cursing the world and blaming struggles and circumstances for where you are will never help either. You must face your struggles and learn from them. Use the hard times of your past to your advantage. You must face your struggles and believe you have the strength to overcome them. If you can do that, you will overcome them. There's no shame in struggle. We all face our own battles in life. They are part of our journey, part of our story, pieces of our puzzle. Next time you are going through a challenge or a struggle, remind yourself, this struggle is strengthening me. This struggle is preparing me for something bigger and better. This struggle was sent to make me stronger, wiser, better. It was sent to give me strength so I can fly.
So to land the plane, cutting people off is not an attempt to distance yourself from those you love, rooted in hate, betrayal, or animosity, but rather a necessary step designed by Yah himself to help you become the individual he created you to be. The individual with a unique and specific purpose that was meant to change the world around you, to be a light in this world and a salt on this earth, to draw all men to Yah through the Messiah Yeshua. Embrace the period in your life where you must be hidden in the cocoon to emerge out with the wings that will set you on high. Brothers, I pray that this bless y'all, brothers and sisters. Remember, don't resist the struggles in your life, right? These are just seasons of growth so that Yah can help you be a blessing to others. That's all I got. Shalom, shalom. Bless you.
Glory. Praise y'all.